Hello and welcome to my channel. The new club kits from Spellbinders are available today to start new subscriptions. So if you've never tried a club kit before, or if you have an existing club kit subscription and want to add one on, today is your day. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the clubs and show you the 10 cards that I created with them. Okay, let's go right to my overhead camera so that we can take a look. The June 2025 club kits definitely have a theme, and that is seafarers, mariners, anything having to do with the sea. And it's really fun. It's very different than you see out there from everyone else. So I'm really excited to share these with you today. My favorite club is always the die of the month. This one is called Shipmates, and it is so cute. Here you have a great big walrus. So there is his outline, his sweater, his muzzle, his nose, his hat, and his pipe. So he's like a captain. Then you have his whiskers, his tusks, and his coat. But he has a little buddy. That's why it's called Shipmates. And this is a little seagull. So you have his body, his legs, his wings, his accessories, like his hat and scarf, his beak and feet, and then he has a flag as well. So I really loved this one, but I used them separately. I love this walrus. Look how cute he is. And he looks so great in his yellow jacket and red sweater. I love that he has his eyes closed. He looks very cute and sheepish, and I just think he's adorable. I did a little bit of ink blending on him to give it a more 3D realism there. I combined this one with the 3D embossing folder of the month that I'll show you in a little bit, and the stamp and die of the month. It's a great combination of products on one card, and you'll see that all of my cards combine all of the clubs this month because I just couldn't resist stacking them all up together. And then our little seagull friend, I tripled him up to create a fun card. Now this card could be used for any occasion. It just says "Ahoy matey" from the crew. So that's why I used 3 of them. But you can see that they have their little flags that kind of look like they're dancing. You could create them in different colors. This one's more gray and these are more off-white, and they just look really cute together. So in the set, you can also put him on top, and that would fill your A2 card. So he can be sitting on top of the hat of the walrus, and it's just a really cute design. So that is the die of the month. The large die of the month really is huge. It almost doesn't fit on my magnet sheet. This one's called Sailor's Light. So you have so many opportunities here for scene building. There is a lighthouse, there are multiple houses, you have a beach, you have mountains, you have waves and pennants and rocks, and a really cool cloud. There are so many opportunities here to create amazing scenes. So my first card did just that with the lighthouse scene. I really love this one. I just think it's such a really beautiful card, a great way to say thank you for help. I used the clear stamp and die of the month here, and it says thanks for lighting the way. So perfect for that lighthouse. Take a look at that cloud. How fun is that cloud? And I love the way that the waves layer on each other to give it a lot of depth with a lighter color behind. The rocks do the same thing. It's really easy to put these pieces of the lighthouse together too. For my second card, I used the mountains. I really loved the idea of having a trio of mountains. I added the cloud behind in white, so it's more of a sunny day this time than a dark and stormy night. And then I have the waves here. Now this is something I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I used it quite a bit this month, and it is the Kaboodle bonus for this month, that little sailboat. Again, I use the clear stamp and die here to just add a simple hello sentiment. For both of my cards, I used one of my favorite essential die sets. It's the Essential Arches. I really love how the arch shape offsets a scene. And so when I create a scene building card, I will often use an arch to contain what I want your eye to focus on. So I would highly recommend the Essential Arches, and this is going to be linked below in my video description along with all the other clubs. The stitching die of the month this month is called Ahoy Matey. This is a pretty big die set and really fun one to use. So here you have waves that you can stitch, and you can do those in layers. So you can have multiple layers, almost create an ombre effect of waves. You can cut out the outline and the stitching. Then you have the ship's wheel here that you can stitch around here and here, or you can take those panels out so you just have it solid. Then we have our sailor here, and it's a seagull. So this one's larger than on the die of the month. The seagull has lots of accessories. He has his legs and his beak, a shirt, his hat, and this is the filler for his hat, his wing tips, a little bandana tie, and a scarf that you can also stitch. Then you have a simple sentiment here that just says ahoy. Really love this one, had a fun time stitching it. So my first card has our little sailor here on the ship's wheel, and I did stitch that wheel there. Super fun. I love him in the red and navy. I made him a tan color on this one. I also used the stencil of the month, which I'll talk about a little later, for that background, and the stamp and die of the month there. But really fun one. So for this one, I did not stitch the wheel, but I did stitch the waves. And again, I created that ombre effect there that is really, really cool. I combined this one with the BetterPress of the month to create that background, which I think is really fun. Just creates a very, very textural card. So that is the stitching die of the month. The final die I have to share with you this month is the Kaboodle bonus, and this is so cute. It's a little sailboat, but it has multiple parts here for you to create it in lots of different colorways. What I love about this is that it works with so many of this month's clubs, so it's a really great bonus. If you don't know, the Kaboodle is subscribing to all of the kits. So it is the most efficient way to get all of the kits at once. So if you love the kits this month, that is your best bet. It also gives you the most bang for your buck. So this is just such a cute little sailboat. I used it in multiple ways. So as you saw before, I created the mountain scene and added my little orange sailboat there. Perfectly sized for that scene. I also created this cute little shaped card using the stencil of the month, which I'll talk about next. And I really love this one. I love the combination of colors here. I also used it here on this sweet card along with the BetterPress of the month and the wax seal of the month. Such a great little bonus. Okay, let's talk about the stencil of the month because I'm dying to show you the cards I created using it. So this stencil set is called Rolling Tide and you get 4 stencils in the set. So these 3 work together to create an ombre effect of bubbles. So you can see that there. So the bubbles can be coming down from the top, and an ombre effect of waves. So you have 3 different wave layers. Then you have this stencil that works on its own to create that wave effect on the background. Now this one is very fine, so I did use Pixie spray on the back to make it tacky before I stuck it down to my card. So the cards that I created with these, and I loved using this one this month, I used wave, the wave stencil here to add the waves below the sailboat. Now, after I did the wave stencil, I spritzed it just really lightly with water. So that's why it has that mottled effect. Then once that was dry, then I used a paintbrush to add some ink to the cardstock. So it really gives it a realistic kind of water feel there. And I love this card. It's probably my favorite that I created this month. So on this one, I used both the bubbles end and the waves end on the same piece of A2 cardstock to create this background. And I just love it. Again, once I did my stenciling, I spritzed it with water to give it that mottled effect and then added some ink splashes to it too. Both of these cards used one of my favorite essential dies, and that's the Essential Modern Ovals. So here you can see I created that panel outlined with gold cardstock. And on this one, I made it a shaped card. But I really do love these Essential Modern Ovals for so many cards. It just narrows the field of where your eye goes on your card. And I just think it creates such a fun effect. I'll be talking about this background pretty soon. That's the Glimmer of the month. One more card background using that stencil was one that I showed you before, but this is this stencil, the wave stencil. And I did that in light blue and then I went around the edges in dark blue before I spritzed some ink on there. And I just love the way that it looks. I just think it is such a really cool stencil. And again, it didn't move because I used Pixie spray to make sure that it stayed in place. So now let's talk about the stamp and die of the month. It's called Anchors Away. All of these sentiments are so great for all of the cards that I created. You even have an anchor here, which I colored in on one of my cards. This also, if you subscribe to the stamp and die of the month, you'll also get a die that cuts each one of these pieces out. I love the font on each one of these stamps. I think they're really great. I love the sayings, thanks for lighting the way, seize the day and make it amazing. Here's the ahoy with the anchor that I colored in using my Olo markers. Anchors away to an amazing birthday, simple hello, and you're the captain of your destiny. So really great stamps this month. So now let's get into those backgrounds. So here we have the BetterPress of the month. This one is called Harbor Weave. So you have a woven net background, so that will fit an A2 size card. And then you have some sentiments here, casting a warm hello your way and sending a net full of thanks. And you also have a strip die to cut those out. I really loved using this BetterPress this month. I used it on both BetterPress paper to get that really deep impression using BetterPress ink. And there's the sentiment, casting a warm hello your way. And I used it on cardstock with BetterPress ink to create this fun tone on tone. And I really, really love this one. The Glimmer of the month this month is called Cast Away, and it creates a shiny, shimmering net on your A2 background. Then you have some sentiments. Throw your net wide this year. Cast a net full of wishes and happy birthday. So on this one, so cool. I used rose gold foil from Spellbinders to create that foiled background. I used the Cast a Net full of wishes sentiment. And then I used the Stitching Die of the Month bird to sit on my sentiment. I really love this one. I think it looks great with that rose gold and teal, and it's just a really beautiful background. Now on this card, I did something a little bit different with my Glimmer of the Month. I embossed it using the rubber embossing mat for my Platinum 6. So no shine on this one, but it gives it like almost like a 3D embossing folder effect. And I just love the way that that looks. The embossing folder of the month is called Mariner's Weave, and it creates a really fantastic geometric pattern on your background. It doesn't have to be for seaside cards either. Take a look at the way that it looks on this card. I'm just going to hold it here so you can see all of those grooves. I just love the texture that it adds there. It just looks really fantastic, and it would look great in any color. The 3D embossing folder of the month is called Nautical Knots, and wow, does this make a card so amazing. Look at that 3D quality and all of that detail in those knots. I did spritz my paper with water just gently before I ran it through with the 3D embossing folder, but I just think that it's just amazing for the way that it makes your card look. And your card doesn't need much at all on top of this amazing background. Last but certainly not least, it is the wax seal of the month. This one is called Seize the Day, and that's exactly what it says on there with an anchor. I think it looks great with so many of this month's clubs. Here I stamped it with blue and gold wax, and then I colored the raised portions with gold paint marker. Isn't that pretty? I just love it, and I think it works so beautifully with the wave and the sailboat there. It looks fantastic in blue, it looks great in copper, in red, and a mix of gold and blue. Such a fun wax seal this month. Thank you so much for joining me as I walked through all of this month's clubs from Spellbinders and shared the cards that I created using them. Don't forget, you can sign up for a club today, and you can cancel that membership at any time as long as you cancel before the 1st of the month when your order goes through. I love getting the clubs each month. They really spark that creativity for me, and I love being surprised at what I will find in that box. Be sure to find all of this month's club links in the video description below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss next month's video. Thanks so much for watching, and happy creating!